Okay.
You can say there's no way he's down in there, but as for me and Mary, we believe he's been carrying too much sand out, and he tipped in with the bag. He wanted to make a deep bed. Now he's fertilizing plants instead. When they found him in the morning, in that tank way in the back, he was beneficial down there. The plant roots were never ever looking back. All the fish got buried in his substrate, setting up a new tank for the day. You can say there's no way he's down in there, but as for me and Mary, we believe. Now we're all so proud of Mary. She's been taking this to her. Even sleeping in a cabin, changing water and giving puppies crusted shell. All our tanks up with our father. An inch of gravel now we hate. And we just can't help but wonder, should we hold bags of sand and test our fate? Test our fate. All the fish got buried in his substrate, setting up a new tank Christmas Eve. You can say there's no way he's down in there, but as for me and Mary, we believe.
Hello, Joey.
Hello. How are you?
Could you hear that? Could
I
anybody
could
hear
it,
that?
actually. I did actually hear it.
I partially closed my laptop to try to get the mic closer to the speaker.
Oh, okay. Well, that did kind of work because I heard it. So that's good.
Wonderful. Hey, Stephen, the biologist is here.
Yes.
Hello, hello. We've missed you too. Welcome back. Delighted to see you. And there's Monster Fish Gal.
Yes, Lori's
Let's see.
here.
Hey, Laurie. We have somebody new with us. Oh, excuse me. I'm trying to find the Aristotle 760. Aristotle 760 asked about membership. So let me, rather than try to type it out, let me explain what we're doing about membership. We do have a benefit to membership, and that is the ability to use Discord, to use the fish channel on Discord. As a member, you get free access. That allows you to do videos, pictures, conversation 24/7. You can put it on your phone so that you get notified every time there is a post to it. And it's really quite nice. There are three ways, I suppose, actually, to do membership. The one way is to do membership on YouTube. On the homepage, on Fatherfish homepage, there is a membership button. Click on that and select the level of membership you're interested in. Keep in mind that if you're doing this to support Father Fish, there are other more effective ways to provide that support. Nevertheless, as a member on YouTube, you get a badge, and the badge changes color for each month you are a member. YouTube takes 30% of whatever amount you deem you're able to afford on a monthly basis. The second way to be a member is on Patreon. Patreon has occasional videos that are exclusive to Patreon. We haven't had one in a while, but we have had them and will continue to do so. It also allows you membership on Discord. Patreon takes just 10% of the amount of your dues, and it's based on whatever you choose to donate. There is a fee structure. The third way you can support Father Fish is by sending a regular monthly amount to PayPal, fatherfish at fatherfish.net at PayPal. And that, if you do it as friends and family, that will be, there would be no fee taken from that. The fee from PayPal is very small. It's, I don't know, 3%, I think. So those are the three ways that you can support Father Fish. And we deeply appreciate your support. You will receive acknowledgement, and we will provide benefits for that membership as we are able. We unfortunately are not able to manually add badges to your icon on YouTube. YouTube maintains absolute total control of that. We have no control over it whatsoever except to designate it. And we cannot designate it unless there's a fee associated with it. So anyway, those are the ways that you can be supportive of the Father Fish channel. So what do we have, Joey?
Well, so far, I know basically everybody's saying hi. There's a little discussion about Mary's phone, which
right. Mary dropped her phone. Mary's phone fell in the tank.
Yeah.
Not only did Father Fish fall in the tank, but Mary's phone fell in the tank, and it's still wet and not working.
Right. So she's not able to come up tonight. And I'm looking. Mainly Bettis.
Yes.
Hello, Father Fish and Joey. I used your dirty tank today, and my 13-year-old boy and I started a 40-gallon breeder today. I just finished capping it with sand and adding water.
Delightful.
Yay.
You're on your way. Good
That's
job.
right.
Good
That's
job,
right.
Manley.
So that'll be fun.
I've had some people talking with me today, notably Cass and Mary, about doing an extended, in-depth video on the Wallstad method. This came up this morning. That's something we talked about for a bit. And since there's tremendous interest in Wallstad and in the method, and the book is sufficiently compendious that most people looking at it have a difficult time getting through it. I have gotten through it, kind of from one end to the other, and have taken from it what works for me and what works for the customer base that I'm serving. So that would be the idea of the video, to talk about the Wallstad approach to maintaining a balanced aquarium, and then to apply it to a system that we can call the Father Fish system, that really is a derivative of Wallstad. But as I tried to explain this morning, Diane Wallstad is not giving you a 1, 2, 3 step system for setting up a tank. She's giving you all of the research that she's done over her lifetime, involving all of the very aspects of a dirted tank, including how the plants survive, how the fish survive, how the substrate survives, what the water conditions can be, ought to be, should be, whatever. But it's really not a how-to. It's more a scientific treatise explaining in as layman terms as she is able to explain it, exactly what goes on in a fish tank where there is an attempt to create a balanced environment. So I think we'll probably do that. It's going to be a little wonkish. We'll try to get through it in a way that that will clarify for people exactly what they can do and will help set them on the road to being able to create a balanced aquarium. So anyway, that's what we're currently working on. I expect it's going to run about 20 minutes to half an hour as a video, so it'll be a little longer than normal and may even be in two parts. I don't know yet. We'll see how all that goes.
And it'll take you a little bit to get it put together, I imagine.
It'll take the rest of the month at least.
Yeah.
Don't look for it before the beginning of the year.
Okay.
It'll probably be out after Christmas
Okay.
because we're going to get Thomas involved in trying to do a really good quality job of editing with it so we can do something that'll be of real value.
Well, that'll be great. And I'm sure everybody will be looking forward to seeing that. I can't help myself, Father Fish. You got to look at Alex's other method for sending you money. I think it's at 606.
Oh, really? Oh, dear.
I just liked it. You know me. I like anything that's silly and funny. You know, that's
Alex. Well,
thank
then
you,
knowing
Lord.
Alex, it's got to be bizarre. Here we go.
It's not
Like send
bizarre.
Father Fish cash in an envelope so the damn dirty G-men and revenue agents can't get their gritty mitts on it. Amen to
I
that.
like it.
We got it right.
That's the way to go. Cash
Really?
works, right?
Large bills only.
Yeah, only accepting large bills here.
Right.
Oh, funny. So, there's a
Glory.
lot of people coming in and saying hi. Whew, which is great.
Yes, there certainly are. Mark Biggs. Hello, Mark. Mark Biggs is here.
Yeah, I can't possibly say hi, and I'm trying, everybody. Hello.
Logan's was in today.
Who?
Logan's came in the shop.
Oh, he came in today too?
The dirty tank method mainly. That is describing, yes, the dirty tank method.
Yeah. Oh, as to what your video will be about? Yeah.
I guess. Oh, the biker. Well, the biker is struggling. You've seen pictures of this biker. It's almost 2 feet long. It came out of the tank. And I don't know when it came out, but Betsy found it this morning in the saltwater section on the floor, which means it had crawled on the concrete floor at least 10 feet and maybe longer, depending on which side of the tank it came out on. So we got it and put it back in. It's been having some problems floating because it took in a lot of air. It's a labyrinth fish. And so it was full of air. That seems to have settled down a bit. At one point, we found it sitting straight, head up. So I touched it, moved it, and it was fine. By this evening, it was kind of laying normally. The likelihood is it's going to get some infection. So I'm going to have to take it out and treat it by tomorrow.
Yeah, I imagine it'll get some bacteria going on the skin.
Yeah, I'm sure it will.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Thank you, Chalupa.
Fish and tank decks.
Okay, glass box.
ABC.
This morning's stream. All right, glass box at 6:14, I think. This morning's stream brought up betas not needing to be in 5-gallon minimum. what's the smallest size you would put them in for a comfortable life?
Say what?
Basically, when we were talking this morning about bettas, we said that they didn't necessarily have to be in a 5-gallon tank as a minimum size. So they want to know what's the smallest tank you could put them in for a comfortable life. Your opinion. We're going with you.
One or a group?
I'm assuming one. They didn't specify, but I'm assuming one.
Well, I think they do really well in a gallon jug. I don't like keeping them in anything smaller, mostly because it's too easy for it to pollute. If you drop some food in there and they don't eat it and it fouls the water, it could ruin their day and kill them off pretty quick. So a gallon would be about minimum, and that would be with plants with 3 to 4 inches of sand on the bottom. You don't need to put dirt in. No bubbler. In a warm spot, they like to be warm. And then be prepared. If you will buy drinking water, that's water with minerals in it. Mineral water works just as well. Drinking water, filtered water is usually pretty good. Buy it by the gallon and use that. That will save you the hassle of dechlorinating water. You'll be able to use bottled water. It'll be the right amount for a 1-gallon system. You'll be able to take them out, clean it out, dump the water in, and throw them right back in it. Some plants, little sand, try to feed live food as you're able. And just put it in the warmest place in the house. They'll appreciate that. No, you don't need a filter and you don't need a heater unless you've got a little tiny one and have a real need for it. If you keep your house temperature up above 75, he should be fine, particularly if you've got it in the kitchen or bathroom, which would tend to be a little warmer in most cases. So that would be, I keep them in large. I've got bettas in 10-gallon tanks with other fish, and they do extremely well. I also if I'm going to keep them in a decorative container, it'll be about a gallon. I don't like to do anything much smaller than that.
Okay, I think that answers. Mainly, Betta has a question. What would you consider a minimum size tank for a common bichir?
Well, that depends entirely on the size of the biker. We get them bred, captive bred or wild caught at 2 to 3 inches. At that size, they can live just fine in a 10-gallon tank. But they grow, and they grow quite large. They get upwards of 2 foot. I've seen them. I have one that's about 22 inches. It's not uncommon for them to grow 8 to 10 inches in a hobbyist tank. So you're going to need to move up from that 10-gallon tank at some point. The other issue is when they're small, you can keep them with small fish. When they're bigger, you really can't because they are a predator and they're going to look to eat whatever they can catch. So that's a consideration too. It's a special consideration fish. Very easy to keep. They're extremely hardy, but you need to be careful what you put them with. They have been bred in captivity. You can breed them in captivity, but they need to be quite large to be able to breed.
All right.
Yeah, Mary's having.
Okay, so Holly wants to know, what's the best way to clean cholla wood? I got an amazing 36-inch piece with the roots and everything still intact. It's beautiful.
Well, is it bone dry? The first thing is to make sure it's bone dry, that there's no sap left in it. They do dry out pretty quick if you simply leave it outdoors for a month or so. It'll dry out pretty well. What you can do then is put it in an outdoor container, a barrel, a tub, something it'll fit in, and let it soak for at least a month. Once you do that, it's thoroughly dry, you've got it wet, then you can put it right in the tank. And cholla wood works really well in fish tanks because it dries out really well. You want to get the bark off of it because the bark will come off anyway, and it'll create a lot of particulate matter, which is not a bad thing if you don't mind having a mulmy tank. It will provide a kind of cover the way leaves would in a tank. But generally speaking, you don't want to put any wood in a tank that has sap in it, that's not completely dried out. And the reason is the sap will foul the water. It's not it, and it'll actually foul it. I mean, if you put a green piece of wood in your tank, it's going to turn the water foul. It'll rot. It'll break down and rot. It will decay. It will foul the water. So it's important not to do that. It's important to make sure when you put a piece of wood in your tank that it is completely dried out. The best way to ensure that is to collect it in a place where it's already dried out. Collect it from a beach, from a lake, from a pond. Collect it from an area where, or for that matter, collect it on the ground. If it's a hard wood that's been laying on the ground and is weather beaten, it will work just fine. The other aspect to it that's important is to understand that there are softwoods and there are hardwoods. The difference is the softwoods, pine is a softwood. It will disintegrate. I don't know how many of you remember the stump that I had in my Blackwater tank. I had a 200-gallon Blackwater tank with a big stump in the middle of it. I don't know what kind of wood it was. It was old, dead, decayed wood, but it was softwood. And it broke down. And over a period of the 3 or 4 years that it was in there, it pretty well decayed. Did not foul the water, did not create a problem. It was dead. There was no sap in it, but it was a softwood that broke down in the water, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with doing that. It provides a very tannin-rich environment. Hardwood will not do that. Hardwood that has been in the water or on land and beaten by the weather will be like stone. It'll be hard, and it will deteriorate, but so slowly that you won't even really notice it over a period of a few years. It would take many years for it to really break down. So that's just a little tutorial.
All right. She had mentioned that there were just seeds in it, but Alex is asking if you'll drop the link to something. I've missed something up above. I'm not sure what he was looking for. What were you looking for, Alex? But I don't know if you're going to be able to drop the link anyway. I'm not sure what he was asking about. I don't see it.
Yeah, Roman's saying if you sink the wood so that it's fully submerged, it will waterlog more quickly.
Will the seeds come out? Because she said it had seeds in it. should come out.
What kind of seeds?
She said, I think that's what she said. Did I see that right? Very dry, but seeds inside. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
No, there's something inside. Maybe it's not seeds. So whatever's inside, will it come out? I guess you'll have to see. I don't know. Maybe once you soften it up, you could push out whatever's inside if you don't want it there. And I don't know what Alex was wanting. He'll have to drop it again.
I don't know.
Oh, he just dropped it. All right. Could you possibly convince Lord Poison to share his link? He wants you to share the link to the channel?
Well, I can do that. Jessie is here, and she's reminding everyone to send her your email address, your mailing address for the Secret Santa, the Happy Fishman's Secret Santa. Her email is listed here. It's Jessie Norman.
Oh, maybe he meant drop the link to come up. Maybe that's what he meant.
Well, I just did.
Okay. I was like, I'm confused. Yeah,
And there he is.
There he is.
And there he is.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Good. So, I am here on behalf of the government.
Oh, dear.
And, hold on. Your fish tank for
Did
a
you come
betta
out?
must
Yeah.
be this wide, must be this deep,
I see.
and
Okay.
must be this wide.
Is that right? Got
Yes, or I will come and give you duckweed.
I couldn't
Duckweed.
hear any of that.
Yes.
Now I can hear you.
Ain't it awful?
What
I know.
I was going to say is,
I understand exactly where that's coming from.
well, so people have their heart in the right spot, and they think that because they love animals that they should love them the same way they love humans or cats or dogs. But these are cold-blooded creatures that go into stasis and hibernation, and they go into metabolic patterns that humans and mammals other than bears and marsupials don't have.
Right.
And so we don't understand that, just like a snake, you can put a snake in a drawer for 6 months if you fed it a deer and it's going to be fine. It would be in its den doing nothing but digesting. Different creatures have different, we have evolved to experience the universe in a way that makes sense to us. Our day feels like a day, and when we touch a rock, it feels hard because to us it's hard. We are these species that are kind of squishy. We kind of get bruised easily, not covered in hair or fins or anything. But and to us, water is, it gets us very cold very quickly. It gets us very hot very quickly. But to a fish, they navigate completely differently. And I think that, it's people come from a place where they think I'm more compassionate than the next person, and I will show that. But
Yeah, right.
so I don't want to always like cast stones at them, but at the same time, they need to realize that, like, getting fish ready to spawn, for instance, any equatorial fish that lives in a monsoon region is probably most of the fish are gonna die in a puddle, drying up, gasping for air, and then
Right.
some will live. But statistically, an animal doesn't have 200 to 300 babies at a time if most of them live. That's just not how
Right.
it works.
Right.
So I mean, people look at bettas and they think that they need a hammock and a leaf, and that's fine if it makes you happy. But to me, what's way more important than the amount of space is Are there tannins in the water? Is there a rich microbiome in that little bowl? Whether that means that you used a live culture of soil from your garden or, whatever, some mix from somewhere, but it's old and cycled. Even if you take a little bit of filter floss and mulm from another tank and just put that in your bowl without a filter or anything, that's enough to introduce seed shrimp and little, plankton and things. And to me, that's so much more important than if it's 1 versus 5 gallons. Is it slightly acidic with some tannins? That's going to make your betta healthier and, in betta speak, happier, live longer than having 5 gallons to run around in. Because if it's a big fancy, crown tail or half moon betta, then it doesn't want to fight the current. And if its water's not acidic, it'll probably actually get, without tannins in the water, any little nick could give it a bacterial infection that kills it. So they need that in the water. They need a little muddy puddle of water in order for their life cycle to be complete. So I just wanted to put my 2 cents in on that.
Appreciate it.
Okay.
How are you doing?
I'm good. I had something else I was going to mention too, but I forgot what it was. But there was a fish that I was looking at when last night my wife did a stream with me for the third time ever. Yeah, ever in 5 years of doing it. She's only done 3 streams. And this is the first real one she sat down the whole time for. But we looked up a biome for gouramis. She wants to do a gourami tank for once. Right. She's never done a tank. So we're going to do an all gourami tank, but we're going to do sparkling, chocolate, barking, and honey gouramis.
Oh, cool.
And I think that'll be okay if it's really densely planted.
Yeah. You got to do.
But I kind of want to, and I think I want to do Wallstead style or your style, kind of. But I'm going to modify it because I'm actually going to try to source rice plants. I actually want to try to grow rice paddies.
That would be cool.
Because I mean, it's not a natural habitat per se, but for almost 9,000 years. It's been a habitat that they've evolved in or lived in. So
you want to do a shallow tank with a mud bottom and no cap.
Yeah, but enough mud that maybe it's like 8 inches or 10 inches of mud.
Oh, cool. Okay. I like it.
Like really deep.
Yeah.
And then what I would do is I would not do water changes. I'd let everything evaporate down to about 4 inches of water every 3 or 4 months, and then we do a big change. And when we do the big change, then the heat would drop about 10 degrees. So that would simulate the monsoon.
With the life cycle of the rice plant?
Through reading, not through ever having propagated it myself.
Yeah, it needs to be dry.
Yeah.
Out of water at a certain stage.
Yeah.
So that might be an issue when it starts going to seed.
Okay. Can you start it though in that condition?
Oh okay. Yeah, absolutely. And
okay, that's what I thought.
You can probably carry it forward 3 to 6 months, but at some point it's drowned probably, or will need very shallow water. You might be able to get away with simply lowering the water level to like 1 or 2 inches, which
like hydroponic.
Yeah, that would be fine for the fish.
Yeah, because I mean, people don't give credit to just how shallow fish live in the wild.
Oh yeah, right.
I mean,
right.
The majority of the biomass is within 6 inches of shore.
Yeah, part of the reason that little fish survive is because they're living in an inch of water.
Right.
Right up on the shoreline.
Well, and we were talking about temperatures earlier too, this morning, and how little fish will people worry about plop and drop method in their tank. And granted, if you have rainbow fish or you have licorice gouramis or something, a hill stream loach that needs super oxygenated water at a certain pH, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about your bread and butter fish, your live bears, your tetras that are mainstream, plecos, cory cats, that kind of stuff. I mean, if they have a healthy slime coat and they have healthy bacteria in the water that's good, bad, indifferent, just a wide array of bacteria and fungi and viruses and every other little paramecium and nematode and thing that should be in a tank, I have never had a problem with dropping them even 15 degrees if they were healthy to begin with. Now, if they weren't healthy to begin with, then ick and things like that do come out of the woodwork.
Yeah, and
But
that's part of the reason fish get ick, because they come in stressed.
Right. So if your fish are super stressed coming in from a store or, the mail, then I understand why plop and drop might not be the best thing. But as you alluded to, I mean, fish absorb their surroundings through osmotic regulation in their gill flukes. And so they don't have, they've got little cilia that look like little fingers if under a microscope. And those will, like little hairs, that are going to absorb the oxygen as well as other things like salt and potassium and just various things that are in the water. But that takes weeks to fully occur for them to fully adjust.
Yeah.
So when people are doing the dripping method, you're really just doing TDS as a general thing, and you're really just giving the fish time to unstress a little bit by sitting in the tank. But I don't really have the opinion that does a lot for their actual biochemistry within their body.
Yeah, the other issue is if your acclimation is at all harsh, then it's not going to be beneficial. If your tank is a stable, healthy environment, you're better off putting them directly into it than going through a harsh process of trying to put them in new water and balance that water and just go through all of the details of trying to create a perfect temperature and hardness and pH environment, which is probably not going to be really well balanced anyway. They're better off going directly into a balanced, healthy aquarium. Well, they'll be able to adjust much more quickly and easily and comfortably.
Alex, Chubbs has put into the chat.
He's frozen.
He's saying, look, oh, is he?
Yeah, I think I shut him down. What?
You pressed buttons?
I blew him. No. Oh, he's back. He's back on another channel. There he is.
You can't shut me down forever, Father Fish.
He's back. Get out of that bottle. So, Alex, Chuck was chiming in and saying,
I saw that.
Crawfish and rice ponds in Louisiana, and that's the exact thing you're wanting to do. So that's interesting.
Yeah,
I will. And this is unrelated to that kind of, but it's a tidbit that the reason we brought over West African slaves originally was for rice. It in the Caribbean, later sugarcane for rum and things, but originally it was because they knew how to grow rice. And so that was one of the main attributes we wanted from the group. But the Portuguese had slaves from all over Africa at that point in time in the 1500s, and we wanted the ones who knew how to grow rice.
Yeah, they were all over the islands in South America long before they came to this country.
Yes.
For cotton and tobacco. And
sugarcane. Yeah.
Sugarcane, yeah, for the South. Sugarcane came a little later on.
Yeah.
It was not.
Father Fish, I had.
Did it again.
He did, yeah.
There he
All right,
is.
start
Say it
over.
again. Say it again.
Yeah, I had a question for you. So I just got an air pump. It's not a big linear piston pump like I should get for a fish room, but it's a Tetra Whisper 150 gallon that I bought a 12 nozzle adapter for.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to be running little teeny sponge filters in 2.5s and 5-gallon tanks mostly for spawning and for bettas and for nanofish. But I was curious, this is the last thing I have to say, and then I'll disappear. I just want to hear your answer. Is as far as maintaining pressure in a system like that, do you find it best that you plug everything up or, that's like so there's no air just going without resistance? Is there a method like your biggest tanks and your deepest air valves or air stones should be first in line and then it goes weaker and weaker towards the end? Or I was just curious if there's a method to that helps
pressure,
effectively.
The smaller tank pressure is going to be constant throughout the system. So it'll be the same pressure at one end as the other, relatively speaking. Yeah, I think, common sense tells you to put the deeper tanks first. It doesn't always work that way. You can't always get enough pressure in a deep tank to run it and your little ones, because the little ones will take all the pressure. So what you may need to do is raise the sponge up in the deep tank so it's maybe only halfway down, to suspend it, if you will, until you get
He's frozen. You're not frozen. I have heard of that.
I can hear.
That keeping them halfway out helps a lot with the pressure. I've never done it, but I've seen it. He'll be back. It just takes him a minute.
Yeah, I mean, I know. I usually use 4-prong pumps.
Here we are. We're back.
Oh, here we are. We're back.
I drop offline periodically. I don't know why it does that. It's me doing it. We're back.
Okay. We're all back.
Yeah. Sharpie says it's a delicate balancing act, helps to keep airlines same length. Oh, that makes sense. And the sponge filters the same depths. Yeah, that makes sense. Hey, thing. Mary's here.
Oh, good. Where?
She just got her phone working.
Oh, good. Let me give her a link.
A minute or two ago, but yeah.
I was gonna say if her phone actually ends up dead, I bet you someone in here has a phone from a year or two ago that they're not using that maybe we could help her out with.
I've got one right here. Yeah.
Yeah. I usually do, but I've already given one to my mom and one to my wife, so I don't have one right now. But
put it in rice, but Mary can't leave it alone long after having a bag of rice. She can't be without it.
Yeah.
I'll send her this one.
Oh, you've got a phone? Okay.
I do.
It looks like she might have it working, but we'll see. Sometimes it glitches the next day.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Well, that was all I had to say, and I just wanted to make sure that you all saw the federal law about bettas needing 2 feet of length in their tank and 40 gallons of water per fish.
Yeah, we're going to do civil disobedience over here.
Shot glasses?
Right. Shot glasses, right.
Yeah, that should be enough, right?
Right.
That should do it.
I think so. As long as you put a catappa leaf in it.
They only need to be wet.
Right. Solves everything.
That's all. Just so long as they're wet, they're okay.
All right. Well, that's all I had to say. Thanks for letting me hop up. I'm going to hop down.
Delighted to have you. Always fun. Bye. Bye.
Always. Bye.
Bye-bye. Ah,
I don't know if Mary's going to make it up.
I don't know.
I would have thought you dropped that
I
link.
did.
I thought
Did
she
I
would
do
have
a
ended
link?
by now.
Yeah, I can do it again.
Yeah, maybe she can't.
Maybe not.
I'm not sure.
It started charging, so at least it's charging.
Well,
Alexander
okay.
Lee, civil disobedience, right?
Yeah, I'm not quite sure how she's talking to you on it then, but
Ah,
I guess she's just got to plug it. I don't know. Anyway, okay. I don't think I really saw any other questions. I think they were just kind of going along with the air pump thing. And oh, wait a minute, Alexander. Oh, here's the question from this morning, Alexander Lee. Father Fish, there have been 2 of my bristlenose fry that have left the cave, but the dad is preventing the rest from leaving the cave. This isn't a problem, is it?
preventing them from leaving.
Yeah.
Well, listen, they're probably grounded because they probably were acting up. So you've got
bad
to.
bristlenose babies?
What?
They
The
were
what?
bad bristlenose babies?
Bad babies, right?
Bad babies.
Bad baby, right?
They're stuck in the cave. Okay.
There you go.
Okay.
They're
He can be
created-
more serious though. On a
You
serious note.
do not abrogate parental authority. It's very important to maintain parental authority, especially with tropical fish. Especially. They have enough trouble maintaining their authority without you getting your feelings involved in protecting the baby. You are not a grandparent. You may not do that. It's wholly unfair. If daddy wants to keep them locked up in the cave for another day or two, he has his reasons.
So daddy knows best is what you're saying.
Daddy knows precisely. Precisely.
He knows what he's doing.
It's really important to maintain your perspective on these matters.
Well, yes.
The other thing you can do is you can
Sorry.
you can remove the cave and put it in a separate tank. That'll also solve the problem.
Alex is killing me. He wants to know what my hair care regimen is.
We discussed that at great length this morning. I was privy to an extended conversation.
That was before the live stream.
It was after the live stream. Well, before and after.
Yeah, we do have conversations before.
And after,
and
right.
After.
Right.
Alex, I know you're just joking, you little brat, but I just wash it and I let it air dry. That's the whole thing. And it comes out different every day. He's like a bad boy.
He is. But we're there a few. We have a few.
We love him. Hi, Dawn.
Oh, dear.
Dawn.
Ooh.
Anyway, yeah. Unfortunately, what you don't realize is behind the scenes, yes, Father Fish has to listen about hair and makeup and all kinds of other things and what sort of day we're having. If we poked ourselves in the eye and had to redo our makeup, he has to hear about all of that. And I know he's very interested in it every morning. Sitting right on the edge of your seat. See, just like now, right on the edge of your seat, just waiting.
Yeah, I just shut up and sit back and listen.
That's probably a good idea.
And when I get bored, I shut it down.
When you've heard enough. All right. I don't know if we got to be serious for a minute. See if there's any other questions here.
Airing cupboard. The airing cupboard.
Oh, Mary says the cat knocked it off into the water changing bucket. That's what happened to her phone.
Well, what were you doing sitting on the edge of the water changing bucket or above it?
You're right. That's a risky business. That's exactly what my mother would have said. Well, of course, it was your fault because you left it sitting there.
Right. I mean, didn't you know the cat was going to knock it off?
That's right. Well, no, we didn't know, but, you know.
Apparently.
Right.
Right.
Hello, Larry D.
Larry D.
Larry D is in the house.
I need to get down into YouTube and check out.
Fishymon. Okay, I'm sure I'm missing questions here.
I haven't seen Fishymon in a while.
No? Oh, boy. Alex is still on here. Oh, he's funny. And he says that you like a good pair of pumps and that we shouldn't let you fool us.
What? What?
He's just being funny. It's making me laugh. We know it doesn't take much to entertain me. Oh, Sharpies is talking about eyeshadow. Oh, boy. Thanks, Sharpies. Oh, my goodness.
Oh. Hey.
Are you seeing any questions?
No, Mary's playing mea culpa here,
She's doing what?
saying it's her fault.
Well, you know, my mother would have blamed me. She would have told me it was my fault, as you said, for leaving it there. Yes,
She has not hooked it up to the charger, and it's charging. So how's it charging if it's not hooked up to the charger?
I don't know.
This doesn't sound right to me.
I don't know.
Have it hooked up to the charger, not haven't.
So my sister says she sees why I won't live stream without makeup. It's the total entertainment. Yeah, we have to talk about it. Yeah.
Turtle entertainment.
It is for Father Fish.
Oh, total entertainment. Well, it is. Yeah,
The whole
it is.
makeup discussion. More than you ever wanted or needed to know, right?
Really? And it gets somewhat traumatic. Actually.
Well,
I mean,
of course. That's the whole point.
Right. And I have to not have a dog in the fight.
Okay, wait a minute. We have an actual question. Sorry, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
dear.
You can't get involved. Okay.
Right.
Best floating plant that can withstand the hang on the back flow from a filter, from the hang on the back, the flow.
See, Alex wants turtle entertainment. Yeah, I thought that's what it was too.
Yeah, well, how come Alex isn't like that when he's up here? He's a telephone tough guy in the chat, but he doesn't act this way when he's up on the screen.
Well, anonymity.
So anyway, yes, what would be a good floating plant?
Yeah, anonymity has its privilege. All right, best floating plant that can withstand HOB flow.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, it's going to be a rooted plant or a plant that's otherwise attached to something. Anubias or Java fern glued onto or tied onto or a rock or a piece of driftwood. Rooted plants buried deep enough that they're not going to get blown out. Obviously, you can't do duckweed, riccia, red root, or other floating kinds of plants because they'll basically clog the thing up. So the solution is to get rid of the HOB and put a sponge filter in. Alex has split personalities. Yes, we know. It's what they're split between that makes it interesting.
I want to know what's the name of the altar. What other name do you go by, Alex?
Oh,
Oh, Alex is saying hornwort, pennywort, moneywort, all the warts.
yeah, rooted plants. Rooted plants. Anything you can stick in the bottom that'll attach itself and not get blown out.
Well, there you go. Oh, I think Chugs is saying Taiwan lily.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah, I mean that would be a good one.
Probably
It would be
with the
rooted.
lily. Well, yeah, it all works. It's all fine.
Yeah.
Just do it. Whatever
Just do
works.
There
Right.
you go.
Just put
Just
it in
do
there.
it.
Last box has 2 Eastern painted turtles. Turtles are really cool in an aquarium. You can put a little tiny one in. They do really well. It's amazing how effective, how easy it is to keep small turtles in a community tank. You just want to make sure they can't crawl out. It's not just load a piece of styrofoam they can climb up on. That'll make them very happy. If it's warty, it's a weed and it'll float freely. Float freely. Float warty.
No.
Warty.
Very
As in-
small rocks.
It's in frog spawn. Frog spawn's
I'm
warty.
still back on my very small rocks.
Last box fox. All right. Where are we? We're
Mary
down.
says her phone doesn't understand her southern slang.
Listen, could you guys hear the song Glass Box Fox?
Well, I heard it. I don't know if
It's
everybody
gonna
else
get a
heard it.
moderator. Glass Box now is a moderator.
Yes.
Who else that I can get back to?
Yeah, I'm looking.
Doobie-doo.
I just keep seeing glass box. I feel like there was somebody else that came in.
Yeah, early on.
Yeah. That had been here a few times.
Yeah, well, I don't think we can get back to him.
Trying to find it. Xanadu.
Xanadu, yeah.
6:46.
I don't think I can get to it.
You can't get to it? Okay.
I
If
don't
you're still
think-
here, say something in the chat so we can get you a wrench.
Yeah, I'm gonna get all the way to the bottom here.
Okay. Xanadu.
Now, I think what I'm gonna do actually is pull up a tune.
Okay. You do that. Okay, glass box is in. Got the wrench.
This box is in, yes.
In the
Let's see.
house.
We should do Christmas. You think we should do Christmas?
Well, it is that time of year. So I say Christmas.
So we've
What is
done all
Alex
3.
saying now?
We only have 3, and we've done them all.
That means somebody else send in a Christmas song.
Yeah, we need more Christmas
'Cause we're
songs.
getting low. You know what my problem is, I realized today? Well, I mean, I have more than one, but about the Christmas song.
What?
All of a sudden I was like, oh no, I can't just do a song. I have to do a video too.
Oh, that's right.
Of course, of a different color.
Well,
I can't
it'll
just
be
whip
fine.
that out.
It will be Jim Dandy. You'll love it.
It'll be Jim Dandy, just like my fish, right?
There you go. Right. All right. We're gonna do the song here, I think. Is that it? This is not it.
So I have no idea what to do about a video. The song I can do. I don't know about the video.
Midway break. Here we go.
Oh, Xanadudu, thank you for the super chat. And so Father Fish, you should be able to give them a wrench. And Merry Christmas.
This makes it complicated.
Oh, sorry. Can you say something else, Xanadudu, so he can give you a wrench? And thank you.
Oh, $2 super chat. I can do it.
Oh, there it is. You can give him a wrench. Charlie Brown.
I got to get back into YouTube to do it.
Oh, sorry. That shouldn't be a problem.
I know. I was already in the music. So now I've got to create another Whoozy Wonk here and get into it and shut off that and get down to Xanadu, Charlie Brown Christmas. You're going to have to do the video.
Oh, and then there's Aristotle came in too. So while you're giving wrenches.
We got Xanadu. Aristotle.
Yes,
Good.
Dawn,
Okay.
I can do it, but I'm not going to.
Oh, I already had Aristotle. I just removed him.
Oh.
That was dumb.
We'll put it down.
Dumb. Yeah, we got him back. Okay. Toshita Heaven. Hello.
That's my sister.
Have Joey sing, right? We need to get Joey to sing. We will.
She's heard me her whole life.
All right. All right. I see neon screen. Red rose. I watch them swim for me and you, and I sing to my friend. What a wonderful show. Oh my. Thank you, Mary. I see meadows blue and angels white, green growing plants and deep living sands. And I sing to my friends.
Thank you, Mary.
What a wonderful show. The colors of the rainbows, as pretty as can be, are also the guppies that dance for you and me. I see friends coming in saying, let's talk about fish. They're really saying, I love you. I hear water splashing. I watch it flow. With Father Fish I learned there's so much more to know. And I sing to my friends. What a wonderful show. Oh my. I sing to my friends. What a wonderful show.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody. Nice to be with you.
Father Fish, are you playing another song?
No, it's more of the same one. I'll go off with this. Hold on a minute.
No problem.
Bye, all. Love you all. See you in the morning.